Okay, today, I am going to take a pesky little weed and tell you why it's so good for you. And that is our little friend, the dandelions. We're going to be talking dandelion today. I'm going to be speaking about it from the Western and the Eastern perspective and how you can use it in your kitchen. So, dandelions, they're super valued for their anti-inflammatory properties. They're an antioxidant. They have a mild diuretic property, so that if you have fluid metabolism problems, this will help you get rid of extra moisture in your body. It helps with liver detoxification, bile production. It's really helpful if you're someone who has a sluggish metabolism or any kind of toxic skin conditions. So this could be like cystic acne or skin that's really red, inflamed, kind of angry looking. They're rich in polyphenols, vitamin A, C, K. There are lots of studies that show that helps to regulate blood sugar. It also supports the immune system thanks to its antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects. And I'm going to break down each different part of it. So I'm going to talk about the little root. I'm going to talk about the leaves. I'm going to talk about this beautiful, happy flower and also the stem. And I'm going to just break it down. And I have if you're a gardener, I have a great tip at the end, ways that you can supercharge your garden using this pesky but beautiful, not so pesky, really healthy little friend. So welcome. Okay, so let's see. Certain ways you can use the dandelion. You can certainly use it raw. So this spring, the leaves, you see them in the grocery store. You can pay a lot for these in the grocery store. Or if you have an organic garden, you can go out and pick them and wash them well and use them right from there, grown in your backyard. So they have a very bitter quality, much like arugula or chicory. So you can use them raw. You can saute them or cook them like you would with spinach, or like spinach. So you could saute it with garlic and olive oil. You can also blanch them a little bit to reduce the bitterness. You can make a pesto out of it, so blending it with olive oil, nuts and seeds. You can also make a tea. So you can use the different parts to make a tea as well. In Eastern medicine, so we are always looking for balance and we're always looking to how someone is presenting and then what foods, what herbs, what different tips are going to help bring that balance back. Very simply, if someone's too hot, we want to cool them down. If someone's too cold, we want to warm them up. If someone's got too much moisture, we want to get rid of some of that. We want to dry them out a little bit. And if someone's too dry, we want to add moisture. Very, very simple, very logical. That's one thing. Also, I joke around a lot that Eastern medicine or Chinese medicine sounds a lot like a weather report because we're always talking about hot, cold, dry, damp. But you know what that feels like. If you've got too much moisture, if you're the person who has sock lines and you're like just always feeling like your limbs weigh 500 pounds, that would be like a damp condition. So it makes sense intuitively, and it's just a very simple way to explain things. So in Eastern medicine, the flavors, we look at the flavors and the properties. So the flavor of dandelion is very bitter, as I spoke about, but it also has a little bit of sweetness to it. And we'd say the nature of it is quite cold. And we can change the nature of it by cooking it, but if you just have it on its own, it's going to have a very cooling effect on the body. And it affects the liver and the stomach channels. So it's really helpful for the gut. So we say it clears heat and fire toxins. So that red inflamed conditions that I talked about, like with acne or boils, sore throat, eye infections that are more on the heat side. So when it's got heat, it's going to look red and angry. So this can show up. Sometimes women in midlife get a lot of angry heat symptoms. So dandelion can be helpful for this. We say it drains dampness and heat together. So if this could show up in UTIs, if someone has jaundice, this would be a condition like that, or just that acne, eczema. It promotes urination, clears damp, so getting rid of extra fluid, as I just said, and really moves the liver qi. So liver energy in Chinese medicine, its job, or liver, the system is meant to circulate the energy in the body. Its job is to just smooth out the emotions, controls the diaphragm area. So we want this area to be open. So we're getting that 360-degree breath. We're digesting well. If this area if the liver's congested, we're going to get this very stuck feeling in this area. So that could lead to acid reflux, bloating, IBS-like symptoms, emotional stagnation, like you had this internal traffic jam and you're like really irritable quite a bit, or you're frustrated easily, this can be a sign that this liver system is a bit blocked. So dandelion can be a great ally to move that. And because it unblocks this liver system, it helps to calm our emotions. Sometimes when we're really stressed, and people can feel anxious, and that's almost like we want the our mind can be busy, but we want it to be grounded down as well. And when we're really blocked in this area, it's almost like that energy has nowhere to go. So if you're stressed and then you get like really wired and you can't stop your thinking and you rewind, repeat, this can help to soften and release that liver constraint and then bring that energy down. So it can help release emotions if you're someone like just if you need that emotional cleansing. Dandelion can be a great ally for that. So it's really about it, they are very prominent in spring. So that spring energy is about renewal, about growth, about detoxification, about movement. So it can be really great to add in the spring because we're coming out of that winter where it's more sedentary, where we have sort of heavier foods, and we want to bring in a little bit of this detoxing and cleansing. It's the best time of year to cleanse in the springtime, and dandelions can be great for that. There are some people, though, that should not be using dandelion. And so it's really important to know if you're resonating with one of these types, to be very mindful when you're using dandelion. Doesn't mean never, but there's just ways that you're going to prepare it that will make it better for you. So I mentioned about that cooling, heating balance in the body. And since dandelion helps to cool things down, if you're a cold person or you have a weaker digestive system, so that means if you're someone who's got leaky gut, if you get bloated after you eat, like you have a glass of water and you feel tired or bloated or congested, that means that your stomach's not very strong and doesn't have a strong digestive fire. That having more cold foods is actually going to exacerbate that and make it worse. So, and if you're very cold, you run cold, you're the person in sweaters and socks when other people are in t-shirts, you're wearing socks to bed, and you just always are feeling like you got that chill. That's not going to be helpful for you. Especially like poor appetite as well will show up. So that you want to avoid, or you want to cook it. Make sure you're having it. You can add dandelion into a soup. I have a favorite green soup. I'll add dandelion greens into that. Sauteing it with more warming things like garlic or onions. That will warm it up. You can also take the root. Here's a bigger root. There's the root. You can cut the roots, and this just literally came out of my garden, so I'm getting mud over everywhere. But you can roast the roots in the oven and then make a tea out of it. So that will help add some warmth to it. If you have an allergy to anything from the daisy family, if you're sensitive to ragweed, chamomile, or plants of that nature, you may react to dandelion. So, particularly in tincture forms or fresh forms. So, you just want to be really mindful of that. And overuse of dandelion when you don't have any heat signs can eventually cool you down too much. So it clears heat. If you have excessive heat, you can use it regularly. If you don't have heat, you're feeling pretty good, or if you're running on the colder side, you want to use it like occasionally. Add it into your weekly thing, but not necessarily having it every day. All right. Oh, there's also, because it is a diuretic, it may interact with diuretic medications. So if you have those, just always, before you start using something medicinally, just check with your personal physician or your pharmacist to see if there's any interaction. And yeah, and it's generally considered safe in small amounts in food if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. But if you're using more, check with your practitioner. Okay, so how can we use it? Let's talk about the different parts. So let me grab my little prop here. All right, the flowers. These are detoxifying. These have an anti-inflammatory effect, high in antioxidants and high in flavonoids. So these actually have a bit of a mood lifting component. You can throw these in salads. They add such bright, happy color to your salads. You can make a fritter with them. So just lightly, you could put them in a bit of a batter and fry them. You can make a dandelion wine. You can make a dandelion jelly. And you can actually make a natural clothing dye with this. My friend makes her own clothes, and she was playing around with natural dyes, and she made me this beautiful little duster. It is the happiest yellow, and for whatever reason I don't have it with me, but it is the happiest yellow color, and it was just made from these dandelion tops. So great way. You can also use it if you're dyeing Easter eggs. It's kind of fun. So it's when you want to harvest them um, when they're like this, obviously, you want to not have them sit too long. The longer when you catch them later, it's going to get more of a bitterness to them. Okay, the roots of them. This is like I don't think I got the whole root. There's a little baby root. The root is more of a liver tonic, so it really helps the bile flow and it helps to support those detox pathways in the body. It also is a prebiotic, so that means the gut flora, your gut biome, they need something to eat, and the prebiotics are going to be the foods that feed them. So it's really going to nourish the gut flora, and it is going to support blood sugar levels, and and it also has like a mild laxative component to it as well. So and we know when the gut is supported, so food's coming in, we're getting the mix of things, our body's able to absorb it, and we're feeding that gut biome, everything gets better from there. Our skin, our immune system, our moods, our hormones, everything stems from a healthy gut. So dandelion roots can be very, very helpful for that. So when you're using them in the kitchen, you can just wash them and scrub them. You can chop them and then dry them. So just putting them in the oven at a very, very low temperature, like 200 degrees for like 30 or 40 minutes. And then you can just steep and make a tea out of that. So a teaspoon or two dried root per cup of water, and just let it steep and enjoy. You can add some other things in with it, like a cinnamon or chicory or something, and it'll become more like a bit like a alternative coffee. So it's a great coffee substitute. You can also add it into broths or soup stocks, or if you make a bone broth, I will often take ends of vegetables and throw them in a freezer bag. And then when I'm ready to make my bone broth, I'll just dump all those in, and then my bone broth gets nice and got nutrient dense. So if you're picking your dandelions, you could just save those roots and clean them off, and then make a broth with them later. All right, so that is the root. And then we have the stem. So the stems, believe it or not, were traditionally used as a wart treatment. So like a topical sap that you would put on. So they have a mild antimicrobial component. And they have a very, very bitter and component to them. Not typically eaten. They're because of the bitteriness, is that a word? Bitterness. And it can be a bit rubbery as well. So you could use small amounts in like a fermentation, like a kimchi with wild greens, like small amount, but it's best that the stem is best used topically. So you can dry them, you can freeze them, you can like save them for later. And then the leaves. So the leaves are obviously great, bitter, tonic. So this, like I said, you can saute them, you can use them in a salad, you can put them in a soup and puree them in a soup. So lots of different ways you can use them. And then I remember when I was at a farmer's market getting some plants, and I was talking with a guy who was a botanist, and he said that they were playing around when they were in the lab and they were trying out all these different fertilizers. And he said dandelions actually make the best fertilizer for your plants. So it because of its nutrient content, but they're weeds, and you know how fast dandelions grow. And so what you can do if you're just pulling them out of your garden, get a big bucket, sort of rip them up or chop them up a little bit, put them in the bucket. Ideally, it's going to be rainwater or water that hasn't got chlorine in it, because the chlorine will denature stuff a little bit. So if just natural filtered water, or ideally rainwater, and let it soak for a few days or for even longer. And it's going to ferment a little bit, but it's going to create this soupy, very powerful fertilizer for your garden. So I was asking him about growing broccoli, and he said the best thing for your broccoli is to make this dandelion soup, basically, and it just becomes like a super, super strong fertilizer. So super easy to do, very powerful, using the whole little happy friend that grows in your garden in the springtime. So I hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear I'm sure a lot of you already use dandelions. And if you don't, it's a great thing to start to try. Great for your health, and just make sure you're listening to your particular body and using it in the best way for you. All right. Thank you for being here. I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day or evening.